This is the new prototype booth for the Vitamix show department. Each one of these cases weighs approximately 406 pounds, according to the labels on the boxes. So we will now take them apart and see what's inside. Inside each crate is 2 large duffel bags. Looks like one of the crates has some type of box, which is probably some nuts and bolts. Inside the box, it looks like we have some touch-up paint for the Formica and a bag of wing nuts to put the booth together. I took out the first duffel bag. It might weigh 50 pounds, totally manageable. The second bag in the same crate is quite a bit heavier. I don't think women could lift it, so the remedy would be to make a fifth duffel bag and maybe split up some of the shelving. Looks like the shelving is inside this bag, maybe along with a countertop. So that's why it's so heavy, these 2 shelves right here. I would say that second bag weighs between 65 and 75 pounds. So a guy can do it, but women would have a hard time. Same for the third duffel bag I removed. It's quite heavy, closer to 75 pounds, be very difficult for a woman to move. As I remove the fourth bag, it's the lightest of all, so I'm thinking maybe 2 of the shelves could go in that bag. This fourth bag had 1 countertop and a couple of frames in it, so it's quite light. I would say it only weighs maybe 30 pounds. Taking a shelf out of the second bag I removed, which was about 65-70 pounds, it made the bag quite a bit lighter. I removed that shelf and put it in the fourth bag, and both bags are now real manageable. The heavy bag also had 2 shelves in it, so I removed one of those shelves and put it in the lightest bag, and now all 4 bags are totally manageable. I think it'll be a good idea to number each bag individually, so you could do bag 1, bag 2, bag 3, and bag 4, and then when you take pieces out, make sure you label the pieces, then you would remember what bag they go back in. So this shelf here came out of bag 1, so I would just simply label that shelf with a 1. That way I'd always remember what pieces go back into each bag. This piece of kick plate also came out of bag 1, so I would just put a piece of tape on it. Again, remembering which bag it came out of would be very easy. I'll just proceed to mark all the pieces that come out of every bag, then I'll assemble the booth. Bag 1 is completely marked. I had 2 kick plates, I had a shelf, and 2 of the base frames. So you want to make sure you mark every single item so you know what bag it goes back into. Now I have all the pieces out and marked for which bag they go into. You'll notice the frames, the markings were in white ink, and you can't see them that well, so I remarked them all with a black pen so that they're much more visible. I would imagine the markings being on top, these would be right side up, so I didn't mark number 8 on the bottom. I just marked it on the top, so that way when the guys take them out of the bags, they can see where the markings are. The frame is right side up. I did, however, put the bag marking on both the bottom and top of the frame. That way when you're packing it up, it's much easier to watch and look out for the number. You're going to want to mark every item because the bags are very heavy, and this makes each bag about the same weight. I would estimate 45 to 50 pounds.
We'll now show you how to do the whole food setup.
Your first step is to take frame 10 and unfold it. You can see it has 2 hinges on it. So just unfold it to an L. Then hook that to frame 9. And this has 1 hinge on it. And then hook that to frame 8. And that almost looks identical to frame 9. And again, it has just one hinge. So 2 hinges on 10, 1 on 9, 1 on 8. And you put all 3 of these together, and that's the look you'll have. Now we're going to wing nut frame 10, 9, and 8 together. And there's holes on the bottom and holes on the top to support the wing nuts. As you can see, they're very easy to wing nut together. Now we're going to take frame 5 and bolt it to frame 8. So it'll just move up close to it, and again we'll wing nut it. On top of frame 8 and 9, you place countertop number 3. Now underneath the counters, there's a little hole so you can secure the countertop to the frame. You can maybe see the hole underneath. And just take this thumb screw and tighten it, and now your counter will be secure and won't move around. As you can see, that was easily done. And there's one on the back side of the countertop as well. These little thumb screws may be overkill, but it certainly ties the countertop to the frames. That way, if Costco management moved your booth, it's all like one big piece of furniture. So I suggest you put them in. Now frame 4 goes over, countertop 4 goes over frame 10, and below the frames have places to put wing nuts in to secure it to the other countertop. You can see how that secured to the other frame. There's one on the front of it too. Frame 1 now goes over, countertop 1 now goes over frame 5, and again that's going to connect with a wing nut on the bottom to the other frame. Now you have all 3 countertops in place for your Whole Foods setup or your smaller venues. Putting your shelves in, you'll notice that there's only 3 notches out of the shelves. The back one has no notch out of it. So that has to go onto the far left side. So looking underneath the booth, that one corner right there is where the shelf with no notch goes. So as you can see, you have notches everywhere, but this one corner, there's no notch. It just lays on the frame bar. Now attach the white PVC panels. They have Velcro on the inside to make them easy to attach. You can see I already attached it to the left side of the booth. Now attach it to the right side. Now both sides are attached. Each display will come with a case that holds the graphics. Inside the case that holds the graphics, you'll have 2 front graphics. One's about 8 foot long. That's for the Costco booth. And the other looks identical but shorter, is about 6 foot long. The 6 foot long is the one you're going to use for Whole Foods. Here are the graphics to the front of the booth. You want to start from the very top so that you leave enough room for the kick plate below. So make sure the graphic is as close to the countertop as possible. Start at one end, square it up, and then stretch it to the other end. This way you'll have a nice uniform, unwrinkled look. Now secure the side graphic. Again, starting at the left end, as close to the top countertop as possible, square it up, and stretch it to the back side. Remember, leave enough room on the bottom for the kick plate. Install the kick plates. There's 2 pieces. 17 goes on first, then number 20, and then 2 shorter ones on the side. They are marked, so the side would take number 21 and 22. They're easily installed, and the Velcro fits exactly. This gives the overall appearance of the booth a beautiful look. Everything's covered up. Beautiful graphics. Ready to help you sell lots of machines. So this is the Whole Foods or the smaller venue setup.